peace.
No justice.
No peace.
And more importantly, I come to you as an activist for equality, which is all what we're here to do today. You see, like all of you guys, I have a deep-rooted love for this country. But, like all of you guys, I do not stand by the deep-rooted racism that plagues our country every single day. You see, every generation has an opportunity to make some real change. Every generation's job is to leave the world a better place, and that is what we are doing. That's what we're doing today. You see, we found ourselves in a pivotal spot to create some real change, some real, authentic, positive change. You know, what started off as a protest against the murder of George Floyd and the police brutality affiliated with it became a protest for something so much greater, for something so much better. It became a protest for equality, for right versus wrong.
Let me tell you a story about how I saw the prejudices in our system today, and about how I realized that changes need to be done. You see, I used to volunteer at this thing called Teen Court, and it's a recourse for students who have broken the law to get their slate wiped clean one time. They get one chance to get their slate wiped clean after committing a crime. So I was there working defense to try to get this kid only 5 community service hours so that he can move on with his life. And when I opened his file, what did I see? All I saw was resisting arrest. There was no other crime except for resisting arrest. I'm like, hey, what did you do to get this? He was like, I was on my way home, and apparently the cops thought I had drugs, and so I was riding my bike in a group of kids, and their sirens started blaring, and they tried to stop me, and so I got scared. I figured they were after someone else, so I ran. And so they caught up to me, they took me off my bike, and they started aggressively saying, get in the car, and they handcuffed me. And when he told me that, I was like, this is absolute BS. There cannot be a system where that's allowed. We as the youth need to push for changes. We need to push for reform. We need to reach out to our lawmakers. We need to change our messed up grand jury system that purposely picks people that will let cops off the hook.
I always introduce myself as the most concerned citizen you will ever meet, because I understand what civic engagement is all about. But I also say I stand on the shoulders of the ones who come before me. And so stand on my shoulders and take this forward. And what I want you to understand is, when it comes to young people in the movement, Birmingham Children March for Change. If you don't know about it, that was really the pivot moment of the civil rights movement, because children were able to understand our future is at your hands, and we want to make sure our future is a future that will benefit us all. But I start by saying, imagine a city that's #1 in the country with excessive force cases. Imagine a city that has a use of force metrics that is only 4 levels compared to all the other cities' law enforcement agencies, 6 and 8. Imagine a city that a police officer can use a chemical agent based on his or her discretion at first contact with you. They don't even have to speak. Imagine there's so many racism, systemic racism in the policies when it comes to communities of color, with the wetlands, with air quality. Imagine how people that look like me feel. Imagine that is the city of Orlando. And that's what we're headed to. So when people talk about Ferguson, talk about New York, talk about Minnesota, talk about all the other cities, we have that here. Right here in Orange County, Central Florida. We have a Terry Johnson, a homeless man, sitting on the corner, waiting for the homeless shelter to open and badly beaten by law enforcement because they could do it. That's a federal case that Attorney Natalie Jackson and Ben Crump will be handling on a federal level right here.
Breonna Taylor! Say her name! Breonna Taylor! Say her name! Breonna
march?
Well,
Are you guys planning on marching so you need an escort?
I'm not an organizer. You have to ask one of them over there.
Who's the organizer?
The young woman who's got the megaphone.